Okay, and welcome to Northford Ice Pavilion in Northford, Connecticut. And you are tuning in to the Connecticut Tier 1 championship game between Yale 2010 AAA and Mid-Fairfield 2000 AAA. And so how we got here, Yale and Mid-Fairfield played earlier this morning, Yale prevailing 2-0 with Joe Violante in net. Tight game, Mid-Fairfield in control most of the game, but not much scoring from either team. Mid-Fairfield going 3-0 on the weekend with wins over the Wolfpack, CJR, and Yale to punch their ticket into the championship game. And just a couple of notes. So in between the pipes for the championship game is Chris Faich. And not too sure about the Yale goalie. We'll try to find out for you. But at this point, teams are pretty familiar with each other. Yale is a strong, I would say a very strong defensive team. Good goaltending. Kind of frustrates you in that neutral zone. And Mid-Fairfield, you see when they're, if you've obviously tuned into a lot of their games, when they're passing and they're hitting early on, you're going to see a dynamic team. And lately, Mid-Fairfield has been dialed in, playing some of the best hockey all season. And that's what you want to see. With big wins over the Philly Junior Flyers and the Wolfpack and a few other teams. Mid-Fairfield has been clicking. So, should be a good matchup tonight. So, and as we've talked about before, this is the Faich home rink. So Chris is very familiar with Red Rink at Northford. He's been playing here since he was about two and a half. So this is home for Chris. And you see the two goalies meet at center ice, Joe and Chris. And the rest of the Mid-Fairfield squad warms up. And it looks like we got a pretty decent crowd for tonight's game. The rink is starting to fill up. And that's about the warm-up time is all to be expired right now. So we'll get going. We got the two referees here. And everyone will pick up the pucks and we'll get going. So on the other rink, so in dramatic fashion, CJR had knocked off the Wolfpack in the game right after ours this morning. I believe they won 4-3 or 5-4, but I know they scored late to go ahead. And CJR has the chance with a victory to knock the Wolfpack out of the playoffs. So I think this is a winner takes all for the CJR Wolfpack game because the top three teams advanced to New England. So Mid-Fairfield's already punched their ticket to New England's. But make no mistake, they want to be the Tier 1 champion in Connecticut. This is what you live for as a hockey player, is to be able to do this kind of thing. And I know Chris is eagerly awaiting this. So Mid-Fairfield all huddled around the net. Joe and Chris. Tap gloves. Yale goalie heads to his respective net. Chris gets glove taps from his teammates. So in today's starting lineup for your Mid-Fairfield 2010 Rangers, Heckel, Lutke, and Malefus up front. Kikaro and Zoo back on D. Win by Mid-Fairfield. Kikaro circles around, gives it to Zoo. Zoo tries a cross-ice pass, doesn't connect. Yale dumps in behind Faich. Yale gives chase. And Malefus up with it. Malefus tries skating it out, loses the handle into the neutral zone. Picked up by Kikaro. Kikaro skates in, cross-ice pass to Lutke. Lutke puts a shot on net that's deflected off to the side by the goalkeeper. Mid-Fairfield looks to set up shop. Kikaro loses the zone. Leaves it for Malefus. Watch Malefus with that head of steam. Malefus gets into the slot. He's loose. And the net gets knocked off. Yanni Malefus creating offense right away against Yale. Malefus has been in a torrid scoring streak lately for Mid-Fairfield. And you can see why. He turns on the Jets. So they're going to take the face-off right outside the Yale blue line. Hannah at the face-off wins out to Shunk. Shunk and Yoon out on D. Shunk comes in, dumps in. Behind the Yale goalkeeper. Beck trying to keep in, but it's out to Yoon. Slap shot. Oh, sticked aside by the Yale goalkeeper. Hannah taps it over out in front. Scranton gives chase. Out to Yoon, over to Shunk. Oh, Shunk loses the handle, but recovers quickly. Nice play by Shunk. Uses that long reach. Another good play by Shunk, forcing it up in the air. Oh, big hit by Hannah on his former teammate. Scranton out in front, puck is loose. Goalie is down. And I believe it got covered up. And Owen Hannah returning the favor. Last game, Owen Hannah got a big hit by his former teammate in center ice. And Hannah saw the opportunity to return the favor and did so with a big hit right near the blue line. So Ruff, Correa, and Johnston up front with Schwartz and O'Neill. Ruff with the win over to Johnston, who's in the slot, loses the handle, backhand, doesn't get it on him. Correa now with the forecheck, chasing that puck down is Cullen Correa. Thrown out of the zone. And that should be an icing. So Schwartz and O'Neill are back on D. Ruff at the center, win. O'Neill throws it in. Ruff with a nifty play, pushing it between the legs of the Yale player. Ruff back up with it. Ruff with a shot, and it's in! Lucas Ruff just hammers the puck past the Yale goalkeeper over his shoulder, and that was all Lucas in that play. Stole the puck in the corner. Just some nifty skating, gets free in the slot and able to hammer it home. 13:55, and Mid-Fairfield goes ahead right away. Malefus, Lutke, and Heckel are back up front. Win by Yale. Kikaro able to knock it out, but kept in by Yale. Fight along the boards, and it's out. And here comes Malefus flying down. Kept in by Heckel. Heckel loses the puck in the slot. Kikaro able to force it out. Cross-ice pass to Klingenstein, who dumps it in the zone. Lutke gets there first, bounding puck. Lutke behind on the side of the net. Lutke throws it out to Klingenstein. Klingenstein with a shot on the ice, sticked away. Kikaro winds up, another shot that's deflected. Klingenstein loses the zone. puts it over to Cuccaro. Cuccaro leaves it for Beck. Cuccaro gets his own pass, loses the handle right by the net. Out in front was Lubke, unable to get a shot on. Cuccaro dancing around, throws it back out to Lubke. Lubke shoots, rebound, and it's contained by the Yale goalkeeper. 12:41 left in the first period. So Yale wins the face-off. He's kept in by Zoo, who throws a shot in that's gloved by the Yale goalkeeper. 12:32 left in the first. Hanna at the face-off. He's got Vartanian out there, and Beck. Zoo and Yoon out on D. Win by Yale again. Thrown along the boards. Yoon fires. Shot looked like it got deflected, but credit the Yale goalkeeper tracking the puck the whole way, is able to secure it on his pads. So far, Mid-Fairfield comes out shooting right away. 8 shots already on net in the first few minutes. Win by Mid-Fairfield to Yoon, who dumps in the corner. Vartanian there, gives it to Beck. Beck tries to slide it in. Zoo gets it there, misses the shot. Beck slides it over to Zoo, over to Vartanian. Vartanian surveys, leaves it for Zoo, dumps it back to Vartanian. Yoon forced to retreat after the errant pass. It was kicked in by one of the Mid-Fairfield players, actually, but here comes Zoo, harassed the whole way and leaves it into the neutral zone. Zoo still fighting for possession. Beck up with it, throws it in on net, and Mid-Fairfield goes for a shift change. O'Neill corrals the puck over to Shunk. Blocked by Aldred on the pass. Johnston all over him, though. Johnston with the steal behind the Yale net. Throws a shot up, unable to hit the net. Shunk gets there, throws another one on, misses the net. And like clockwork, the nets come off the mooring. 11:06 left in the first period. So rough at center with Correa and Johnston. Shunk and O'Neill out on D. Ref's in the way. Shunk, nice play to keep it in though. Oh, whiffs on it, then gets the second opportunity. Thrown back in by Mid-Fairfield. Ruff on the forecheck. Ruff all over the Yale player. Shot by O'Neill, it's deflected off the side. Mid-Fairfield flying around on this shift. Johnston surveys over to Shunk. Shunk with the shot, tipped by Correa over the net. Back out to Johnston. Block. O'Neill recovers it, dumps it back in. Shunk pinches in to help out the forward in the corner. And Yale's able to recover behind their own net. And into the Mid-Fairfield zone, the stout defense by Shunk. Shot, unable to hit the nets. And it whistles out of the Mid-Fairfield zone, tap back in, bounding puck. O'Neill to Shunk. And it skips over into the Yale corner. Lukey fighting for possession in the corner, along with Heckel. Puck skips behind their goalkeeper. Yale looks to try to break out. Long pass, unable to hit. Over to Schwarz. Cuccaro back to Schwarz. And that's going to be an icing. So with 9:26 left, we're going to have a face-off just to the side of Fate. Malefus at center. Win by Yale. Dumped in. Cuccaro there. Yale still fighting. Yale up with it. Shot. Doesn't hit the net. Yale still in possession of the puck. Saved by Fate. And saved. So Mid-Fairfield living a little dangerously down in their own end. That's just, you don't want to see that as a goalie fodder. You've got 0 shots on the board 5 minutes into the game, and then Fate's able to make a key save to keep Yale from tying it up. So despite the fact Mid-Fairfield's dominated the game, Yale's only a goal down here. Zoo up with it. Zoo with some skating room. Cross center ice, but turns it over. Tourney dumps it in. Fate waves at it with a stick, unable to hit it. And here comes Klingenstein. Oh, and it's knocked out. And here comes Beck. Tried to field it. Zoo taps it back to Klingenstein. Klingenstein with some room to skate. Klingenstein over to Vartanian. Oh, he's just unable to handle it cleanly. And it's thrown out of the zone. Fate comes way out of his net to field it. Leaves it for Klingenstein. Long pass to Vartanian. And finally, Beck looks to settle it down in the neutral zone. And it's thrown into the Yale zone. And that should be an icing. So 8:06 left in the first period. Mid-Fairfield up 1-0. So up front, you've got Johnston, Correa, and Ruff. Yoon and Shunk out on D. Stolen by Yale. And they're going to have a breakaway here, but Shunk saved by Fate, kick saved by Fate, and pushed off to the side. Shunk using that long reach, making the shot very difficult. With credit, the Yale player gets a shot on Fate, was able to turn it away. Ruff with another shot off the goalie's head. So Mid-Fairfield races right back with a scoring opportunity. Johnston now behind the net, circles around a few times. Yale tries throwing it out to Yoon. Shot by Correa, hits his own player. Johnston in the backside. Ruff up with it over to Yoon. Back up to Shunk. Shunk with some nifty skating, backhands it. Ruff gets it to Correa. Back to Yoon, shot off the side of the net. Mid-Fairfield hunting here. Nice D by Mid-Fairfield has just been stout defensively this weekend. Just to the side of Fate. Johnston tries to handle it cleanly, throws it up into the air so Mid-Fairfield can go for a shift change. Malefus on the forecheck, gets a stick in the way. Oh, Malefus almost collides with Heckel, and here comes Yale. They mishandle it, and here comes Malefus. Oh, he's a step away from a breakaway opportunity was Yanni Malefus. He looks for that, using that long reach and the speed to create offensive opportunities. So 6:28 left in the first period. Malefus back at center with Ludke and Heckel. Schwarz and O'Neill back on the blue line. Win by Yale. Nice skating by Yale. Fate uses his stick, but Mid-Fairfield swats it away even before it gets there. They are all over Yanni Malefus, trying to tie him up. Thrown in onto Fate, who stops the puck, leaves it for O'Neill. O'Neill has trouble fielding it. Hoffman comes up with it. Out to the blue line, another shot, and Fate with the save. So one thing to keep in mind with this ice at Northford, it gets a lot of use during the day, and so lots of bumps and cracks, and makes the puck go in odd ways. You just saw it there, deflect off the ice into Faitch's stomach. Picaro throws it over to Scranton. Scranton trying to settle the puck down, but he's harassed by a couple of Yale players. Zoo up with it, lifts it out of the zone. Scranton all over. Zoo picks up the errant pass. Tries to reload to Hanna, dumps it into the Yale zone. Cross ice pass to his D. Here comes Hanna through center ice. Turns it over, and Zoo dumps it into the Yale zone. Long pass, but stolen by Coccaro, who dumps it back in. Behind the Yale goalkeeper goes Johnston, over to Beck, shot by Hanna, and deflects off the pads. And icing is waved off. Owen Hanna skates up, hits Coccaro across center ice over the blue line. Coccaro leaves it for Beck, shot, and into the stomach of the Yale goalkeeper. 4:42 left in the first period, mid-Fairfield up 1-0. So Ruff, Johnston, and Correa out there with Shunk and Klingenstein. So stolen by Yale, but Shunk with the steal, dumps it back in the Yale zone. Yale goalkeeper fields it, trying to beat the press. Kelly now up with it, but loses the handle, tries to dump it in, but Klingenstein there. Yale now looks to reload into the mid-Fairfield zone, shot! And off Faitch's blocker, up into the glass. Tap back behind Faitch, goes Shunk. Tries to get it to Johnston, a little too heavy on it. Shunk though, helped out by Johnston after losing the handle. Shot that's fielded by the Yale goalkeeper. Mid-Fairfield goes for a quick shift change. Long pass, and there's going to be an icing. 3:47 left in the first period. Malefus at center with Ludke and Heckel. Schwarz and Yoon on D. Win, Yoon unable to contain the zone. Left for Heckel, over to Schwarz, who gets it to Ludke. Ludke decides to go behind the net, loose out in front. Finally, Yale's able to lift it out. Yoon with a slapper, slap shot right into the stomach of the Yale goalkeeper, who's getting a workout here. 15 shots already in the first period, 3:29 still left to go. Coach runs with the same group, Yale with the win, but thrown to the opposite sides. Ludke back to Schwarz, who winds up, shot. Here comes Faitch, who comes out of the net and fields it. Beautiful play by Chris Faitch, who comes out way out of net to field the puck. Looked like Yale was going to have a breakaway opportunity, but Faitch races out. So coach changes out to the Hanna line, so Scranton and Beck out there with Zoo and O'Neill dumped into mid-Fairfield's zone. O'Neill gives chase. Still a loose puck along the boards. Out in front, but only Scranton's there. Scranton tries to feed one of his players, but unfortunately going to cause an offside there. 2:49 left in the first. It off the Hoffman stick up into the glass. Loose puck, still loose. Yale and Beck fighting over it, along with Scranton. Scranton comes out with it, gives it up to O'Neill. Shot, deflected. A nice save by the Yale goalkeeper after it was deflected once. So Yale withstanding a lot of shots on net here. The goalie coming up large so far, 15 saves on 16 shots. So the rough line is back out with Correa and Johnston. Rough all tied up, but win by Mid-Fairfield. Another shot, it's deflected off the goalkeeper. And here comes Yale. Unable to maintain the possession, throws it out to Coccaro. It deflected off a Yale stick. And that's going to be an offside. So you can see with Yale, it's very difficult to get those passes through the neutral zone. They do a good job defensively of shutting down what Mid-Fairfield does best. So win by Mid-Fairfield. Coccaro up with it, dumps it into the corner. Johnston gives chase. Johnston goes hard into the boards, but Correa's there to feed him the puck. Johnston feeds Klingenstein. Klingenstein over to Coccaro. Coccaro unable to get a shot. That should have been a high stick. That should have been a high stick right there, and it is. Looked like a couple players had a high stick there, but they're going to call that one on Mid-Fairfield. 1:24 left. Malefus at center. Malefus with the win. Shunk throws it over, and it whistles away. They're going to call another icing on that. So 1:17 left. Malefus still at center. Shunk in front of the net. Tries to feather it in. Unable to hit his winger, dumps it back in. Shunk back into the corner. Kelly up with it on the side of Fitch, but Yoon collects the errant pass. Yoon settles things down. Oh, tries a long pass. It's going to be an icing there. So 50 seconds left in the first period. Mid-Fairfield up 1-0. The Hannah line comes out. So you've got Hannah and Beck and Scranton out there. Shunk and Yoon out on D. Won by Mid-Fairfield, but tapped back in by Yale. Shunk with a stick lift. And Hannah able to come in and steal it. Scranton mishandles it, but goes out of the zone, thrown back in. And that's going to be an offside on Yale. So Mid-Fairfield, Shunk tries to handle it, throws it out of the zone, but tapped back in. Yoon forced to retreat. Oh, nice give and go passing, and here comes Hannah. He's got Scranton in tow. Shot, oh, Scranton just couldn't get there in time. Scranton still working the puck, tries throwing it over. Yoon races across, taps it back in. 3 seconds left, Beck up with it, and that'll be it. So at the end of one, Mid-Fairfield up 1-0 on a Lucas Ruff goal. We're gonna take a short break and be back with the second period. Okay, and welcome back to the second period. Just about ready to go. Goalies change nets. The only thing separating the two teams, besides a lot of shots, is one goal by Lucas Ruff. 18 shots by mid-Fairfield, but credit the Yale netminder. He's turned away 17 of them so far. Mid-Fairfield's been hunting goals most of the first period, but Yale's been stout defensively, as has mid-Fairfield. So Ruff, Correa, and Johnston up front. Mid-Fairfield with the face-off win. Shores tries to tap out. Unable to do so, O'Neill tries to settle things down, overskates it. Correa there. Over to Johnston, across center ice. Johnston gets by his defenseman. Still with the puck. He's ridden into the boards. Out to O'Neill, who throws one on. He tried to be gloved by the Yale goalkeeper, but dropped. Oh, nice play by Correa to keep it in. And it's thrown out again. O'Neill over to Schwartz. He turns it over in the neutral zone. Yale goes for a shift change. Ruff looks behind Feich. Over to Correa. Cross-ice pass. A little too strong to Schwartz. Schwartz tries to avoid it. It's turned over. Yale's going to have a 2-on-1. And mid-Fairfield's going to go away for a trip here. So mid-Fairfield committing the penalty right away to start the second period. It's going to have to go on the penalty kill here. So you've got Zoo out there with Malefus, Scicaro, and Heckel. It's the first power play opportunity for Yale. Win by mid-Fairfield. Scicaro comes in, but Yale with the steal, but then turns it right back over to Scicaro, who's immediately hounded by a Yale player. Malefus up with it, but Yale is respecting Malefus's speed and letting go. Oh, and he's just hauled down. And just like that, the Yale players are really aware of the speed of Yanni Malefus. And one of the players ended up getting a trip on him. Malefus goes down right at center ice. And just like that, the power play is erased for Yale. So they'll skate 4 aside for the next 113. Win by mid-Fairfield, but out of the zone. Scicaro now, helped out by Malefus, still fighting along the boards. Malefus turns it over, pass to Jones at center ice. And Heckel lets him have it. He dislodges the puck. Zoo now settles things down. Zoo with some skating room. Oh, he hits Heckel in stride. Here comes Braden Heckel. Oh, and a glove save by the Yale goalkeeper. Wow, flashing the leather there. Braden Heckel does not miss often with that. So credit the Yale goalkeeper with an outstanding save there to keep this as a 1-goal lead for mid-Fairfield. Braden Heckel, who's got about 5 or 6 game winners for mid-Fairfield and is particularly adept at that. So that was a tough glove save for the Yale goalkeeper. So Yale behind their own net. Long pass, and that's going to be an icing. 13:51 left in the second period. So you've got Hanna, Yoon, Scranton, and Shunk out there. Win by Yale. Harassed immediately by Scranton, who dumps it back in the corner. And here comes Owen Hanna, who just crunches his ex-teammate into the boards. You can see Yale woke Owen Hanna up a little bit this weekend with a couple of hits. And Hanna has been very physical lately. Cross-ice pass, Yale, thrown, and Feich covers up. But I think that hit to Hannah in the last game has opened his eyes a little bit. He's had 3 or 4 big hits on his former teammates so far in the game. So 12 seconds left in the power play for Mid-Fairfield, just a short one. Malefus at center. He's got Heckel out there. So Heckel sweeps in, dumps it around, gets it to Zoo. Hits Malefus, and here comes Malefus. He's got Heckel with him. Shot, oh, nice deflection by the defenseman from Yale. Puts that Malefus shot deep up into the netting. 13:04 left in the second period. It's a dangerous game for Mid-Fairfield. They're only up by a goal. They've controlled the pace of play, but only up by a goal. No margin for error. Lutke loses the handle behind the net. Oh, beautiful play by Malefus. It's forced back in, but finally Yale able to recover. Another big hit. That's what you're hearing is the Braden Heckel just delivering a big-time hit to the Yale defenseman. Puck back thrown back. Malefus loses the handle. Aldred with a shot. Doesn't hit the net. Lutke now over on the boards, and the Yale bench is howling again about a missed call. And that's going to be Lucas Ruff at the center. He's got Correa out there and Johnston with him. Wynn. Shunk throws it out to the other side. Correa corrals it, but a little too hard. But Correa's still up with the puck. Correa's got Johnston with him. Correa's still fighting with the Yale players, but Johnston helping him out. Johnston just trying to get a stick on it over to Correa. Correa trying to feed out in front, and a shot that Johnston was looked to deflect in. 11:36 in the second period left to go. So Ruff, Correa, and Johnston still up front. You've got Schwartz and Coccaro on D. Win by Yale, but oh, just crunched. Is Cullen Correa, just an enormous hit on the Yale player. Coccaro harassed the whole way down, looking for an open teammate. Correa's there, who feeds Ruff. Lucas Ruff skates across, oh, but left it for his player, but Yale able to steal the puck. Schwartz able to get it out of the zone. Schwartz still fighting for possession. And here comes Johnston now up with it. Johnston cross ice to Coccaro, shot, and it's into the goalie's stomach. 10:48 left in the second period. So far this period, Mid-Fairfield with some big hits on the Yale players trying to wear them down here. Scranton at the face-off. He's got Beck out there and Hannah with O'Neill and Zoo. And here comes Yale. The player just dumps it in behind Faich. O'Neill gives chase. Stick caught up. Yale controls out to the blue line. Shot deflected, pad save by Faich. Back out again. D-to-D pass. Saved by Faich. Another save by Faich. And O'Neill's able to sweep it away. But we're going to have some penalties here. Let's see what happened. Not sure why. All right, I guess no penalties. I thought he was calling a penalty, but just a trip. Oh, okay. So win by mid-Fairfield. Klingenstein tied up. Shunk trying to slide right by the Yale forward and does. Shunk with a full head of speed. Shunk gains the zone, leaves it for Ludke, and another shot right into the stomach of the Yale goalkeeper. Seems to have a magnet placed in there. Mid-Fairfield's hit his stomach about 15 times this game. Malefus at center. Mid-Fairfield just searching for that margin for error here, get one more goal. Heckel now gives chase to the opposite corner, taps it over to Ludke. Ludke behind the net, tries putting one out there. Shunk wheels around, throws it out to Klingenstein, winds up, blocker save. Shunk pitches in, throws it out. Nice stop by Klingenstein to prevent the breakaway, but Yale still in the zone, dumps it in behind Feach, but Yale back up with a puck. That looked like Yale had too many men on the ice there, but it was a shift change, so you do get some latitude there. Heckel now up with it to Klingenstein. Battle along the boards. Klingenstein, like a bull, just starts pushing people, dislodges the puck. Ludke up with it, taps it up to Heckel. Heckel dumps in. Malefus gets there first. Malefus was looking for somebody to feed it to. Perret gets there, wrap around, hits the side of the net, and thrown up high up into the air. No icing. Schwarz retreats, taps it back out to Perret, and out of the zone into the neutral zone. Here comes Lucas Ruff, unable to control it though. Perret and Vartanian working the puck along the glass. And Vartanian with his open look, but unable to get anything on the net. Ruff now dumps it back in, but hits off a Yale player. Ruff still able to keep it in. Good job by mid-Fairfield, able to drive the puck deeper into the Yale zone. Yale goalie comes out, throws it to the opposite side. Yoon dumps in, gives chase along with Perret. Dumps it to the other side. Vartanian now on the flip side. Loses the handle and Yale back up with it. Long pass, I guess just to dump it out of the zone, and Schwarz is there. Schwarz has got Ruff all along the blue line. But Vartanian hadn't gotten off in time, and so it's going to cause an offside here. So 7:32 left. Mid-Fairfield clinging to a 1-0 lead. Feach leaves it for Coccaro. Coccaro, though, loses it behind Feach out in front. Yale defenseman with another shot. Feach with a save, still loose out in front. Still loose. Out to Persico, shot blocked. That's got to be an interference call there. So Chris Feach coming up large there with a couple of big saves to keep Yale.
I got you. The play's still going on.
Yeah. Okay. So mid-Fairfield's going to head to the power play here. Malefus, Scranton, Hanna, Heckel, and Coccaro win by mid-Fairfield. Scranton up with a puck, surveys. Scranton over with Coccaro. Coccaro at the top of the key, back to Heckel. Malefus back to Coccaro. Coccaro pitches in, block, but over right to Heckel. Malefus dances with the puck, cross ice to Heckel, and it's in! Great! Are you kidding me? You have got to be kidding me. That is a brutal call. that net comes off with a breeze of the door, and just Braden Heckel buries one. You don't like to be the homer as the announcer, but that is a brutal call. Braden Heckel had just absolutely buried a puck, and the net was about an inch off. That is an awful call. 640. That net is permanently off. So Mid-Fairfield's going to have to atone for a brutal ref call. So still on the power play for the next 50 seconds. Scranton now dances around with it, leaves it for Heckel. Heckel now leaves it for Malefus. Over to Heckel. Out in front, and it's in! Ty Scranton is able to answer. Nothing. Right now, Yale is giving them everything they can handle defensively, but that's a big goal for Mid-Fairfield. So Ruff, Correa, and Johnston out there with Zoo and O'Neill. Forced back to O'Neill, who fields. Up to Zoo. Zoo surveys. Hits Ruff, but unable to maintain. Ruff, though, picks up his own puck out to Zoo. Dumps in. So out to O'Neill. And the puck skips down with Zoo. Good forecheck by Yale, but Mid-Fairfield's able to beat it. Correa now streaks into the corner. O'Neill joins the fray. The puck skips out of the zone. Back to O'Neill. Johnston able to chip it into the Yale zone. Johnston tries shoveling it, does get it to Ruff. O'Neill puts the puck on the ice, but sticked away. Back over to O'Neill. O'Neill winds up, another shot off the pads, and the goalkeeper is able to secure it. And Colin Correa is hit from behind. And I think that's the last thing that Yale wanted. Colin Correa, who plays that abrasive style of hockey, is able to get under the skin of the Yale player. And so at 5:03 in the second period, Mid-Fairfield's going to head back on the power play again. So Hanna, Scranton, Heckel, Coccaro, and Malefus will be out there for the #1 power play unit. Malefus at center. Out to Coccaro. Coccaro slides it over to Heckel. Heckel immediately challenged by Paz. Heckel behind the net. Looks for Malefus. No shooting lane. Cross ice to Coccaro. Slaps it down. Coccaro to Heckel. And it's in! Braden Heckel, who was apparently period to go up 3-0. Heckel gives Faitch a glove tap along with the rest of his squad. Malefus at center, back with Heckel and Ludke. Win by Mid-Fairfield. Shunk over to Klingenstein. Klingenstein able to dump into the zone. Big hit by Heckel. Out. Klingenstein able to keep it in. Over to Shunk. Puts a shot on net. Misses the net, but Malefus there with the errant shot. Malefus behind the net. Out to Shunk. Shunk over to Klingenstein. Reload, shot, and it's gloved, scooped up like an infielder. And the Yale goalkeeper able to stop play here. 4:16 left. Oh, nice play by Malefus. And here comes Yale. Tries to get by Klingenstein, unable to do so, just dumps in to Shunk. Yale player stole it though from Shunk, hits the brakes, reverses course, and Shunk just buries him into the corner. Thrown out to the opposite corner to Klingenstein. Klingenstein tries to feed it up to Heckel, but stolen again. Aldred now with a chance, but swept away quickly by Shunk's stick. Klingenstein back up with it, but loses the handle at the blue line. Russell now up with it for Yale, and Hoffman throws it out of the zone. Tapped in, Shunk there. It's thrown back in. Klingenstein forced to retreat. Throws it out to Heckel, unable to handle it cleanly, but Hannah's there. Yale back into control of it. Klingenstein looks. Yale back up with the puck is Jones, but Klingenstein, mid-Fairfield with just an odd shift there. Klingenstein back up with it, over to Yoon, goes behind his back, but only to a Yale player. Yale back, throws it back into the mid-Fairfield zone. Yoon forced to retreat. Yoon hits the brakes, goes the opposite way. Oh, looked like he had Beck in stride, but Beck gets there in time. Beck now, still working behind the net, out in front, and shockingly, the net comes off. So as we mentioned at the beginning of the broadcast, Northford is notorious for those nets' inability to stay on the pegs. So win by mid-Fairfield out to Yoon, cross ice, but stolen by Yale, turned over. Yoon able to dump back in. Hannah still working the puck along the corner. Yoon throws it over to Schwartz. Yoon back up with the puck. Mid-Fairfield getting a little sloppy in the zone. Tap back in. Yoon looks to settle things down. Scranton with a good forecheck. Schwartz forced to retreat. Beck now up with it. 1:23 left. Beck cross ice to Scranton. Scranton leaves it for Hannah. Hannah back to Scranton. And now here comes Yale racing out. Yale's going to have some numbers here. Across the blue line, leaves it, fakes with a glove. 1:04 left to play in the second period. Dangerous spot for a goalie there. Lots of inactivity, and then all of a sudden, forced to make the glove save. So Ruff's lines back out with Correa and Johnston. Zoo and O'Neill. Feach with a blocker save. Nice play by O'Neill. Correa's still battling. Shot misses the net. Zoo races over, pinches him in, and it's thrown up. Nice play by the Yale defenseman. O'Neill now behind his own net, looking for a teammate. Oh, beautiful pass by Sawyer O'Neill to Johnston. Johnston gets by one defenseman, kick save by the Yale goalkeeper. Johnston undeterred and puts it in! Outstanding save by the Yale goalkeeper, but left in the second period. Mid-Fairfield goes up 4-0. So 30 ticks left, and just as a reminder, we take about a 10-minute break for them to cut the ice. And we'll just Caccaro up with the puck. Over to Vartanian, over to Malefus. You can see the mountain of snow, and Yale races down with the puck to Shunk, hammers him into the boards. Shunk is just a big, strong kid, though. He's able to fight out almost all those. Vartanian throws it back, but I think he thought it was another defenseman back there. Nobody home, and that's the end of the second period. So at the end of 2, it's Mid-Fairfield 4, Yale 0. We're going to take about a 10-minute break, and we'll bring you the third period. Okay, and welcome back to the third period. We have a guest play-by-play announcer, EJ Faich, who's going to comment. EJ, what do you think of Chris's job so far?
Tourney?
Is he doing okay? Is Mid Fairfield doing okay?
Yeah.
All right, say goodbye.
Bye.
All right, that was enough of the 4-year-old announcer. Caro, the puck skips by him. Ludke up with the puck. Puck's turned over though. Nice play by the Yale player. Kelly almost with the steal. Thrown out of the zone, and here comes Heckel. Overskates it a little bit. Heckel dumps into Caro. Yale just trying to break it out of their own zone. Dumped in. Caro fields it. Caro surveys. Comes out of the zone. Caro enters the Yale zone. Dumps it over to Correa. Shot! Loose. Caro picks up the errant shot. Puts another one on. Oh, sorry, starts to feed Ludke. Shunk able to keep it in, tipped off of Correa's stick. Kept in by Caro, dancing at the blue line, but Yale able to recover. All right, and thrown back into the Yale zone. Yeah, so apparently EJ does have a couple of fans out there in YouTube land. Oh, nice back check by Ruff to dislodge the puck. And here comes Correa over center ice, throws it to Johnston. Back to Correa, shot! Deflected out by the Yale goalkeeper, dumped back into the corner. And thrown to the opposite side. Faich comes out, fields it, leaves it for Yoon, and throws it over to Shunk. And over to Johnston, dumps back in. All right, bye EJ. Shunk with a shot, tipped. Skips by the Yale goalkeeper. Kept in by Yoon. Thrown up high into the air off of the stick. Scranton still up with it. Scranton in the slot, shot, deflects off a couple of players, loose out in front. The goalie's able to secure it, 13:02 left. So win by Mid Fairfield, shot up in the air, batted, and it's in! Mid Fairfield able to drive it in, and the ref is saying that it was below the crossbar, and I think Devin Beck is going to get credit for that. And the ref was pretty adamant that was below the crossbar. Faich gives a bunch of glove taps to his teammates. Hanna back at center with Scranton and Beck tied up. Faich fields with a stick, leaves for Schwarz. Schwarz gets it to Beck, tapped out, and that's going to be an offside on Yale. 12:47 left in the third period. Mid Fairfield up 5-0. Just thinking back into the second period, this was a tight game, 1-0. But a couple of big hits by Correa and by Hanna certainly loosened things up. Just legal, strong, hard hockey hits. Malefis tries to get by the defenseman, unable to do so. Malefis trying to feed the other wingers. He's got two Yale players all over him, now three. Puck turned over. Lukey now back up with it behind the net. Lukey skates it out, surveys, dumps it back to Scranton, I believe. Out in front, loose. Sorry, and that's Heckel out there with Ludke. O'Neill, shot on the ice, and it's in! Brayden Heckel with a tip in right through the 5-hole. And so, as we talked about before, this was an especially tight game for the first half, but some big hits by mid-Fairfield definitely loosened things up. Heckel comes back to his goalie. So the scoreboard is off now for some reason. Johnston over to Klingenstein. Klingenstein mishandles the puck. Klingenstein, though, out in front. Oh, nice play by Coccaro, who's shoved down to the ice. But Matty Coccaro saves a chance for Yale to get on the board here. Klingenstein now back with the puck. Over to Carre. Nice move to avoid the hit as Carre. Carre still fighting, gets it into the zone all by himself. Dumps it over to Johnston's shot. Unable to put it on net, though. But mid-Fairfield flying around here with this Lucas Ruff line. Carre and Johnston up front, just flying around looking for more scoring opportunities. And Ruff able to force the puck back in again. Carre gives chase behind the Yale netminder. And you can see Klingenstein had one of the players lined up for a big hit. Beautiful pass by Carre to Vartanian, who gains the zone. Vartanian into the slot, stick lift, throws it on net, deflected off to the side. Coccaro up with it, he feeds Hanna. Back to Coccaro. Coccaro with a shot, and it's gloved by the Yale goalkeeper. 10:41 left. .10:41 left in the third period. Mid-Fairfield up 6-0. And here comes Yale. Loses the puck in the neutral zone. Fighting for possession is Vartanian along with Hanna. Yale with a stolen pass, dumped back in the zone. Zoo looks around, taps it to Vartanian. Beck now gets there first, leaves it for Zoo. Ludke now up with it, skates around. Ludke across center ice. Ludke across the blue line. Shot way wide. Yoon tries to keep it in, unable to do so. Rolling puck. Yoon at his own blue line dances around, but turns it over in the neutral zone. Here comes, Faitch with a glove save. 9:41. Faitch with a big glove save there to keep this Yale off the board. Malefus at center. Yale up with it, shot, misses the net. Still battling for possession. Lukey finally gains control, throws it off the glass, high up into the air. Heckel with an active forecheck. Yale beats it though. And you can see right away that Yale player pulled up. Looked like Klingenstein was going to come in with a monster. Sorry, yeah, it wasn't Klingenstein. It must have been O'Neill. Was lining him up for a hit. High up into the air. Johnston forced to retreat. Rolling puck, throws it out to Heckel. Heckel all by himself. 3 Yale players all over him. Shunk comes to help him. And here comes Yale. They're going to have a breakaway. They're going to have a 3-on-1 opportunity out in front. Nice defensive effort by mid-Fairfield to deny the open shot. And a block, I believe, by Reese Johnson. Shunk tries to feed Johnson, unable to do so. And here comes O'Neal up with the puck. And we're going to have a high stick. And it's going to go down to Yale's end, so 8:26 left in the third period. Nope. Okay, so Shunk's actually going to get, he's going to get the penalty here. Apologize for that, folks. I don't have my normal spotter, Mr. Scranton, out here telling me. So Ruff, Picaro, Schwartz, and Correa is your penalty killers. Puck high up into the air. Ruff goes off. No call by the ref. Schwartz has pinned the player up along the glass. Correa races out there. Oh, Correa almost had that. Picaro able to get there. Picaro still fighting for possession. Aldred with a shot way wide of the net. Again, Correa trying to get there in time, but the Yale defenseman beats him to it. Correa throws it off the glass. Schwartz and Jones going at it. Picaro there. Picaro with some nifty skating, but turns it over in the neutral zone. But Correa able to drive him off. Correa all by himself forces it out of the zone. And here comes Ruff all over the Yale player and throws it, deflects off of one of the Yale player's sticks. So 7:28 left, 32 seconds left in the penalty to Shunk. So your penalty killers, you have Beck and Zoo, Scranton and Klingenstein. Win by Yale. Fate goes to field it, but then decides otherwise. Yale finally controls it, shot, but blocked by Klingenstein. Beck throws it high up into the air. Scranton now in firm control of it. Scranton gets by one defenseman. Still battling for possession, and finally the Yale goalkeeper, with 1 second left in the penalty to Shunk, is able to stop play here. So win by Yale, throws it to the opposite corner, penalties expired, but stolen by Beck, who throws it to the end board. Beck still fighting for possession. Finally, Yale gains control of it and throws it out of their zone. Yale's gonna have a 2-on-1 here. Oh, but O'Neal was able to race back and deny. Faitch is able to cover up here. You definitely see the hitting by mid-Fairfield done in that second period has had its effect. And down goes Johnston. We almost had a cameraman incident up here, but he managed to recover. Malefus at center. O'Neal picks it up, reverses course, throws it out to Ludke. Ludke skates it out over to Yoon, cross center ice, over the blue. Finally, Heckel comes in, grabs the puck. Looked like Heckel went after one of the Yale players. He's going to say it's an interference on Heckel. So mid-Fairfield forced to kill off another penalty here at 5:38 left. Hannah out there with Klingenstein. And Yale steals the puck from Klingenstein, gets set up. Aldred mishandles it at the blue line. Out to the slot. Saved by Faitch. And he gets the fortunate whistle there, even though the puck wasn't completely covered. There was a Yale player sitting at the doorstep. 5:16 left, 1:09 left in the penalty to heckle. So win by Hannah. Coccaro up with it. Over to Scranton. Scranton now with a full head of steam. Over the Yale blue line. Shot by Hannah. Deflected off the goalie's glove. Out to Coccaro, who dumps it back in. Hannah gives chase. Out to Zoo. Oh, Zoo unable to handle the puck. Zoo circles around. Gets the puck out to Scranton across center ice. Leaves it for Coccaro. Coccaro comes in. Gets stood up by the Yale players. Correa now with an active forecheck coming after it. And Matty Coccaro with a nice play, dumping it back in. Coccaro in front of the net. Oh, unable to cash in. Luckily, Correa was there to gather the puck in. Puck left back for Coccaro. Oh, big hit by Vinny Zoo. Once again, another Yale player goes down hard, mid-Fairfield with her hitting shoes on, and that's going to be an offside. 3:57 left. So your penalty, let's see, the penalty's expired now. You got the rough line out there. Win by Yale. Taps it back out. Fought for. Oh, big hit by Yale on Johnston. But mid-Fairfield gets it out. Correa's got one man to beat. Overskates it a little bit. And Yale taps it out of their own zone. But Yoon there. Yoon with some nifty skating. But turns it over at the neutral zone. Johnston there between the legs. Johnston's shot, that's gloved by the Yale netminder. 3:29 left in the third period. Yoon back with the puck. Pinches in. Dumps it into Malefus. Oh, tries to feed Lukey, who's in the slot. Cross ice to Yoon, unable to handle it cleanly. Out to Vartanian. Oh, tipped out by the Yale player. Stolen shot, and Faitch is able to make the save. 2:52 left. So win by mid-Fairfield. Schwartz throws it up on the glass. Gets the puck to Hannah. Hannah slides it over to Beck. Beck with a shot way high of the net. Schwartz comes in along with Scranton, but loses the zone. O'Neill there to collect. O'Neill over center ice. O'Neill skates in, throws it over to Hannah. Hannah trying to out in front, gets swatted away by a Yale player and thrown high up into the air and pushed into the mid-Fairfield zone. Schwartz picks it up behind Faitch, skates it out, across his own blue line, but stolen by Yale, but Jones goes down. Thrown up to Schwartz. Schwartz picks up the errant pass and leaves it for Beck. And here comes Yale, able to dump. Yoon loses the zone. And it's lost. Yale up with the puck. Faich with a save up into the netting. 15 seconds left.
Come on.
Okay, so Malefus is out there with Lukey. Win by Malefus, thrown out by Zoo. Tapped out, Lukey gives chase. Zoo just skates around with it. 3 seconds. And that's it, folks. And congratulations to Mid-Fairfield 2010, your Connecticut Tier 1 state champion. And they will move on to the district tournament up in Exeter, New Hampshire for the New Englands, as will a couple of more teams from Connecticut. But Mid-Fairfield defending its #1 ranking in the state of Connecticut for 2010. And so that's it. Have a good evening, and we will see you up in New Hampshire. Take care.
The full stop.
Yeah, you can.